I believe this is November the 22nd, 2024. Is this not the anniversary of the assassination of John F. Kennedy? November 22nd, 1963. Brother Halle, you might want to check your record, see if you could pull that up. I believe it is the date, the anniversary of his passing. He was shot in Dallas, Texas. And that was a very sad day. I was listening to the radio, and when it came across, 1963. I don't know how many years ago, but that's plenty of years from 1963 right on up to now. We do apologize to the people of Grand Bahama. We know you didn't get the show yesterday. We're very sad about that, but we had technical difficulties. Electricity went off and some other things were happening which were beyond our control. Of course, we were able to get the people in New Providence, but I want people in Grand Bahama to continue to listen to Express Yourself. And, we have a lot of work to do. We're going to have to get down into Grand Bahama on the ground to work with the people of Grand Bahama, because Grand Bahama is essential for the advancement of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Grand Bahama plays a major role in national affairs. They're one of the family islands. But, they always say Grand Bahama and the family islands. But they ain't got no problem with that. But we know that the people of Grand Bahama have some issues, some challenges. We're doing our research work because we were getting mixed messages, and I'm delighted that people in Grand Bahama on the ground were calling in to give us the actual facts as they are. But there are some things we're looking into, some things that were signed and written up some time ago. And some people just forget, so we got to go and dig it up. Because I was hearing some other things from some other people who were painting a different picture just a few days ago. I think it was early in this week. And mind you, the people had already told me what was happening on the ground. And they were painting such a rosy picture. And yet we had, I think the Department of Labor was down there too. And they were finding some things that they didn't go into some details about it, but they say they were talking to these company owners or persons who are in management at these various companies in Grand Bahama. And they found some irregularities. They didn't go into the details of it. But there are specific laws in place relating to labor relations. The Constitution does not agree with exploitation of labor. No man, woman, or child shall ever have his labor exploited. Was that happening in Grand Bahama? Yes, it is. But the Department of Labor didn't say that. We do have exploitation of labor in Grand Bahama. Let's get that on the table. Stop talking foolishness and nonsense. We have it here in New Providence as well. Okay? By these very same people who come and try to paint a twisted picture. The people told us about the foreigners in Grand Bahama, how they're bused to work, given places to stay, and how the Bahamians got to find their own way to the job. They talk about the Grand Bahama shipyard. Let's not talk foolishness and nonsense. The problem I have in this country is those who are in authority or who are given responsibility do not always give you the facts as they are. They talk about they investigating. And they talking to these people, the very people who are causing the problems. And all you can do is just talk to them. And they talk about they were sending people home. Come on, give me a break, man. Say they send the foreign, or they report the foreigners. We ain't sure the foreigners ever left the country who were violating our labor laws. Do we know that? I listened to the gentleman who was from the Department of Labor. I was not satisfied with the way he was giving that information. We need to face the harsh reality that foreign workers in Grand Bahama are being treated better than Bahamian workers. That's a fact of life. Because the people on the ground who are experiencing it know it. Just like this incident was happening in New Providence here. We don't like to listen to the people on the ground. And the lady who called about the situation in Grand Bahama, how Bahamians are being treated versus foreigners. We had a number of people who called in about that. They're being affected, Bahamians. Our labor is being exploited and we ain't getting the right pay. The man said he had a meeting with them. The very people who are causing the problem. And they quietly say, we send them out of the country. We got to do better than that, Bahamians. I don't know of any being punished for violating the labor laws. We ought to know. The people ought to know. You don't do this in no closed door session. Name them. The people of Grand Bahama know who they are. Because they are the ones who are being exploited by these strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders. Now, let me talk about Fort Wingasso, the crap they did yesterday. We saw a bunch of strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders come into that small community, say they're doing something in Fort Wingasso, talking about they setting up one market in a place where it ought not to go because they had no consultation with the people of Fort Wingasso. I think they say farmers market, something like that. They are doing things without the input of the people of Fort Fincastle. And I tell you about Central Police Station, they're weightless. They do not give any assistance to the people of Fort Fincastle when you call them. They talk foolishness and nonsense. They are not available, but you see police officers come up there and say they're looking after tourists. I ain't got no problem with them, say they're protecting the tourists. They do not even speak to the residents of Fort Fincastle. They pass you like they don't know you. As soon as the tourists disappear, they disappear. That's how the police force behaves in this community of Fort Fincastle. When Brother Dean was there, Stephen Dean, I'll always remember that name. He always had a report with the people of the community. His officers had the report with the people of the community. There was nothing the police did in there that I didn't know nothing about. I was always informed in advance. He said, I got to go speak to Mr. Thompson. And he would come even in the nighttime, say, Mr. Thompson, this is what we are planning to do. A house can get knocked down. Say, I can tell Mr. Thompson the house over there can get knocked down at the appointed time. He had a report with the people of Fort Fincastle, and I ain't trying to tell the people. But these who are there now, they don't respect nobody. They don't respect long-standing residents who live there, who grow up there, who have always been there, who have a stake in that community. They just come and do any crappy thing. The representative is just as bad as they are, or even worse. Never had a meeting with the people of Fort Fincastle from the time he was elected. Because I would have known, and those people who live up there will call me and come by me and say, Professor, this is it. So they had whatever crap they had yesterday. Even the people do not know. But we had all kinds of strangers and foreigners parking upon other people's property without their permission. Bring all these cars and then police all over the place because the prime minister was in the area. Ain't nothing but them coming but have some decency. The government has no decency. The MP has no decency. You think they could do this in Lightfoot Key? You think they could do this in front of the police headquarters? You think they could do it in Government House? But they put this crap on the people of Fort Fincastle, thinking that they could just come and march in our yard, set up shop. I don't say even good morning, good afternoon. That's how they behave. They've been behaving like that before. And I will call those people out every single time. Because that is rank wickedness and disrespect. And I'm very upset about that. And the people of Fort Fincastle don't like it either. They were asked yesterday, you know what this nonsense going on up here. They want to set up market in a place where there's going to be tremendous congestion. Ain't ask the people nothing. Ain't get no consultation from the people who live there. All their lives they've been living there. You're talking about you're going to set up right here. Right in the back of my house. Yeah, any crap like that. That's how they behave. That's not democratic. That's not a democratic process where a particular personality or group of persons who don't even live there, who are strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders, never lived in Fort Fincastle in their life. But they parading up there yesterday as big shots. That is total disrespect and disregard for the people of that community. And I will call those people out every single time because I will not let upon that. And the police force at Central Police Station, those police officers in there, they do not work with the people of Fort Fincastle. But they keep telling you, call the police. So that little lady called the police. Can't get no help. Can't get no assistance. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. You can't see them. But we must take this crap. And you got them talking about how effective the police is. They might as well shut down Central Police Station. There's no point having them. They won't tell you go down DeVoe Street. DeVoe Street is urban renewal. They close before 5 o'clock. They go on home. So what do you do after 5? And I can tell you from experience, because I know. If I know the person who is in charge, the officer in charge at 919, and I call that number, and I don't like to call it because I got mixed up in that for two months. No, not 2 weeks, 2 weeks. My phone was tied up. Call, I'm coming to you. Let me make this point because I'm talking about police now. All this talk, they talking about call the police. Well, that crew down at Central Police Station ain't worth anything to the people of Fort Fincastle. And we got senior citizens up there who need the assistance of the police. The commission needs to deal with that. How you expect them to get down to urban renewal, which closes? That's, they tell you go down DeVoe Street. And they got the phone right in their house. And they call for assistance and can't get it. That's wrong. But I'll call them out every single time because that is not democracy. That is not right. We're taxpayers. But they could find themselves in Lightfoot Key. They could find themselves in Old Fort Bay. They could find themselves in Blair. But they can't find themselves right across the street from where police headquarters is and across the street from where Central Police Station is. Call you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Professor.
Yes, sir.
I told you yesterday, stay tuned. You will see what they're doing up there.
Yeah, they're doing crap.
They say they having a farm. You ain't
Did you hear what I just tell you? They had no consultation with the people of Fort Castle. I
hear
couldn't
you.
give a crap what they say they're doing.
I hear you.
You do not march into somebody's territory and talk about you doing for them, and they have no input into what is being done. You got to be crazy. We must accept that foolishness? No, sir. And you don't put no farm in the back of my house. What the heck you doing that for? And think you say you helping us? Give me a break, man. At least have some decency, have some respect. Talk to the people in Fort Castle. They'll tell you where to put it. There's an appropriate place to put it, but they had no input from those people in that community. They're just marching there, bring these strangers, foreigners, aliens, and outsiders, and they set up shop. Tell them when they could do that in Lightfoot Key, come and talk to me. When they could do it in Old Fort Bay, come and talk to me. When they could do it in Blair, come and talk to me.
Okay,
but don't try. No, hold on, caller, because I'm dead upset with them. Do not come talking crap in my ears that you are helping my community and I have no input into it. You got to be insane. Don't talk no foolishness around me, because I'm not listening to that. I don't care how grand you think you are. It means absolutely nothing to us who don't have any input. Because you're looking at as furniture, as a piece of garbage, as a piece of trash that you could just throw on the side of the road. Go ahead, caller.
Oh, boy, I tell you. Boy, come back home. You see, Donald Trump was trying to get the Attorney General, I think it's Mark Gate or something like that.
Yeah, he had to get another person,
and
but that person declined.
How the Democrat, the people, they see Donald Trump want people who have stain on them.
I was staying on him?
He have a stain on him.
Okay, all right.
This man paid off 2 young women and stuff like that. And Donald Trump noticed. And he was still trying to get these people, to get this man to be Attorney General for United States.
Yes.
So, what is telling us? It is the same thing what we see, what is going on here.
Okay.
Don't mind how we see people in corruption and whatever. They will still choose these people. When the magistrate find that these 2 persons in the F&M was wrongly.
Yes.
Was wrongly. Come on, man. Come on. You ain't gonna see some things.
And nothing was done about it.
And nothing was done about it. See.
And yet I hear the same people. I hear the same people making noise.
And the leader of the same party, the F&M.
Yes.
Know who these people was.
Okay.
But yes, still, he didn't see nothing wrong with it. The leader at that time didn't see nothing wrong with it. You see, if these people will have some type of integrity, good judgment, independence, and deal with the situation and say, no, you got to step down. Then people will consider and say, you know something? They're making sense, you know. I can try them. But they ain't saying nothing.
Okay.
You hear the leader just said, the now leader say, he trying to stop to prevent the crime. I thought that's what you think about that?
I gotta let you know when you hear this.
Huh?
I can let you know my comment on that one.
The commissioner, I thought the commissioner was supposed to do that. So if they would put the law in place, the law say, when you run this red light, this will be the penalty for running this red light.
Yeah.
There's no argument about it.
No argument about it.
There's no argument about it. It's so, in other words, if you don't know what to do, before you came and you said that
Okay.
the law's on the book and you can carry it out.
Well,
So what happened now?
we'll see about that. Caller, I got my two guests here already ready to go. I know they got plenty to say on that one.
Huh?
They got plenty to say on that one.
What happened now? If you said when you was coming in, you can turn every stone and you can do this and do that.
Right.
So
Caller,
you're talking now, but
I can have to go because my producer is being very patient with me, telling me to get off the air. You want to play some commercial.
But anyway.
But thanks very much for calling. You in a good point, and I have my guests here. They ready to go too. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Bahamians, we have some serious problems in this country. We know how to solve them, but some other people don't know. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Fall is here, and so are the incredible advertising deals at Global 99.5 FM. Whether you're launching a new product, promoting holiday sales, or just want to get your brand out there, we've got you covered with unbeatable rates this season. Reach thousands of potential customers and boost your business before the holidays hit. Call 326-0271 or just email sales@globalradio995fm.com to learn more about our fall advertising promotions. Global 99.5 FM, reaching customers wherever they are for your success.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island, a November to remember sale, starting at $150 per night plus taxes and fees. For single or double occupancy, receive a fourth night free with 3 paid nights. Limited inventory available and blackout date supply. Advance booking is required. We're offering free food and beverage credit up to $50 based on your length of stay. Redeemable at our Crusoe's restaurant and Splash Pool bar. VAT and gratuity is not included. All guests of Comfort Suites enjoy complimentary use of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park, daily complimentary full American buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, free parking, kids 11 and under stay free in the room with a parent and eat free at Crusoe's restaurant with each paying adult. Call us today at 605-6300 or 363-3680 or WhatsApp us at 55-SUITE, that's 557-8483, or for valid through November 18th, 2024. Comfort Suites Paradise Island, offering comforting days and sweet nights.
This Thanksgiving, let McKinsey's Restaurant at Porter's Key Dock do the cooking for you. Bring the family down and enjoy a mouth-watering Thanksgiving feast with all the trimmings, glazed ham, roasted turkey, seafood stuffing, and your choice of classic Bahamian sides, from peas and rice or conch rice to coleslaw, macaroni, and more. Or check out our regular menu serving fish, conch, shrimp, or lobster. And don't forget dessert. Choose from pumpkin pie, pumpkin roll, red velvet, or chocolate cake, or one of our tropical or regular conch salads to complete your meal. Come celebrate Thanksgiving with us at McKinsey's Restaurant, Porter's Key Dock. Great food, warm hospitality, and memories to last a lifetime. Happy Thanksgiving from McKinsey's.
Janae's Christmas Wonderland is open under the Big Tent. Get 20 to 50% off selected Christmas decorations. Restrictions apply. Trees in pink, frosted green or white in a variety of sizes. LED and laser lights, a large variety of tree ornaments, lighted angels, Santa tree toppers, bright and lively colored Christmas balls, garlands, wreaths, red and white stringed cranberry, tree skirts, stockings, and lots more. Add flowers, picks, and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Janae's Limited. WhatsApp 817-3295.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
If you've got termites and need to get rid of them fast, trust Rentokil Initial. We have over 60 years of experience in the Bahamas. As a part of a global brand, our training and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty on termite fumigation with the best payment terms in the Bahamas. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name you can call on: Rentokil Initial. Call us at 322-2157.
From South Beach to Bay Street.
I'm pleased, I really dig your company.
It's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Bahamians, every time when I come and sit in this hot seat, there's always some shift in what I may have to say or even do on the radio show. But that's expected because things are happening so fast and you have a setup to go with, and then all of a sudden something else gets in the way. There are some things that are happening. We have the situation with the lady. We heard more details about the incident with the 12-year-old girl. And Bahamians, we have some serious social problems in this country. And sometimes I feel very strongly that we overlook what the average person is saying, the person who is experiencing the pain, experiencing the suffering. We don't listen to them, you know. And people tell you they ain't got no running water. What do you expect? When they tell you they don't have no transportation. When they tell you people pass you straight in the road, seeing you trying to struggle with this bag of groceries or struggling in the road with the children. People just fly right past in their nice car. They don't want to pick up nobody. They don't want to give nobody. Like the lady said, God put you there to help and assist, but we don't do that. We pass you straight. We even knock you down if necessary. And it has happened where people have been knocked down in the street and they left to die, and the person just run off. Something is seriously wrong with our behavior, Bahamians. Are they genuine Bahamians? Now, that's another kettle of fish. But it's happening in this country and giving Bahamians a bad rap. And we have to do something about it. And there is something we can do, and I can touch on that. I'm going to let my special guest speak here. Brother Hyler, go ahead, please.
Good day once again, Professor. And
thank you.
Good day, Bahamas. Thank you for the privilege of being able to speak to the Bahamian family on matters of national concern.
Yes.
I have a heavy heart, I believe, like the entire nation right now. Things appear to be going from bad to worse.
Yes.
So I offer my condolences, my sympathies to the family of Adriel Moxie.
Yes.
And others that have lost their lives to crime, violence, negligence. Professor, God says judgment will begin at my house.
That's what the man tells me.
That's what he says.
Yeah, he did say that.
We are pointing fingers left, right, all over the place. And it's a bitter pill to swallow. But God says judgment will begin at my house. Now, we could decide where we want to place judgment all we want to. But I think it would be wise to start where he said he's going to start.
That's what the man said.
Some people are going to find this to be maybe very hard or unfair. Professor, we got a testimony that young Adriel was a church-going young lady taking the initiative on her own.
Yes.
And as of September, she ramped it up, was asking what all she could get involved with. And she set her eyes on being an usher in the house of God. At 12 years old, she's trying to figure out how she could serve God. We're going to sit around and play with persons who are willing to take children away, take lives, aggressively, violently?
That's right.
Are we going to buy cider and cake and sit down and eat and talk about it? As you would put it, that's foolishness and nonsense. Took a look at the meaning of Adriel's name. Professor, Adriel means God's flock, or the flock of God. That's the meaning of her name.
Yes.
God's flock. She found her way into God's flock. She lived up to her name at 12 years old. And some still struggling trying to figure out if there's a God.
Yes.
That Bible says the fool says in his heart there's no God. We're still trying to find our way. Adriel found her way. She found her way. Ask a pastor last Sunday. This is what the pastor said. What are we doing on Monday? What are we doing on Monday? What's happening at church on Monday? That's what her mind was on for Monday. And then the worst imaginable thing occurred
yes.
after that. And she's trying to find out how she can spend more time. We have a caller.
I think we have a caller. Caller,
Yes.
you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Professor, and good afternoon to your guests.
Yes, sir.
Good day.
I called today, not for too much controversy, Professor, but I called to agree with you 110% that even although the Fort Finn Castle area may appear to be a rundown area, this is an extremely important area.
Of course,
in terms of history.
Of course.
And all of that. So when you go put a farm or something like that without you go to meeting for the residents and you don't consult with the man who lives right on the side of the property or even the occupants of a lot of the properties.
Exactly.
I have a problem with that too.
Serious problem.
Because it will devalue your property. Then it's going to present a rodent problem, snake problem, people lose teeth problem, and all of the above. That's going to present because you got tourists coming there each year by the millions.
Yes.
And they got to park on the side of the sea, a farm smack dab in the middle of the water tower, the 66 steps, and all of that. And come on, man. They could have put that farm close to the East Street, to that big property down the back there on North Street.
Of course.
There's a huge piece of property out of everybody's way.
And call it all they got is space in that property. All they have is space. And did not consult with the people of the constituency, or let me say the area of Fort Finn Castle.
Because, I live right across the road from you.
Of course, you certainly do.
Ain't nobody talk to me. And it's really sad. And as for what your guest was just talking about, the nation is lost. We are dumbfounded. We are deeply grieved over the death of all of those babies.
Yes.
Baby Bella, all
Baby
of them.
Bella, yes.
Nothing is never being done. But I have a serious problem, Professor, when the Minister of National Security is on record as saying 80-year-olds could technically consent, or the fact that the Minister of National Security has taken away the cameras from Bank Lane with suspected criminals that does go into court.
Yes.
That we can't see who their faces are, go into court and got towels and stuff thrown over their heads. Or when the Prime Minister says something like, I ain't concerned for stiffer penalties. I'm concerned about a prevention.
We're going to deal with that today.
I dare say I have a serious problem. And then when Mr. Monroe again is going to say he can't reveal the name of certain criminal offenders because he's afraid something may happen to them. Professor, I got a serious problem with that foolishness.
Yes.
Who are we protecting?
Yes, sir.
Very good point.
And that is my question for you two panelists.
Thanks okay. Caller, I thank you very much.
Yeah.
Caller lives right where I live. So he agrees with what I say.
He agrees with you and he feels the pain.
And then they haven't even spoken to the senior people in that area.
You know, Professor,
Yes, sir.
Not to take away from the core issue of Fort Fincastle, but I just want to widen the view.
Go ahead.
The entire landscape of what we call politicians all operate in that same spirit.
Yes.
Whatever color they bring,
Yes.
they bring the same spirit
Yes.
of disregard and disrespect for the people, lack of consultation.
That's correct. Very much so.
That's the point I want to bring. So for we who waiting until or taking this attitude, oh, we don't like what this administration do, we can find another one. You all better start looking beyond these colors.
That's right.
Why are we expecting something different? The last time they sat in the chair, they did the same thing.
Same crap.
Now you prayed for them, they come back, you're going to anoint them and put them right back there where they have not proven themselves, not repented, not shown any change of mind or heart, shown nothing but contempt for the people of the Bahamas.
That's right.
And nothing but contempt for the Constitution.
That's right.
Professor, you realize that an announcement was also made. We're talking about, we don't know who here right now, who committing or influencing the committing. See, that's a different level. It's one thing who's committing the crime. It's another thing when you have foreigners, wherever they coming from, they bring in their culture with them.
Yes, they
They
are.
bring in their mindset with them.
That's correct.
They bring in their deeds with them. We've had nations in the Caribbean whose prisons have been emptied of all the criminals.
That's a serious matter. Very serious.
I wouldn't stay around if it was me.
Emptied
The
of all the criminals.
entire nation. We have the whole nation. The prison was emptied, escaped out into the world. Before you stop, Bahamas, y'all stop playing. Before you stop, Bahamas. What are we doing? So here comes a new announcement. Immigration at the borders. Now, Professor, when you come in, there's a minimum of 30 days you'll be given automatically. Minimum. Nothing said about a maximum. Now, I stand to be corrected. I don't know what the public heard. I don't know what you heard. I don't know what Cartwright heard. I'm just speaking about what I heard with my two ears.
I heard the same thing, and there was no maximum in the announcement.
No maximum.
None whatsoever.
My life is worth $200. Somebody can come to this nation, say that they're staying for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, decide they want to stay longer, and pay $200 to stay here forever.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
See, I'm being a little facetious. Clearly, it's no forever. But the point is, when you introduce this new policy, you did not stipulate that there's a back end, that there's a limited amount of time.
Yes.
6 months.
Yes.
America doesn't state it, but they have a policy. You're going to get into a problem if you stay there more than 3 to 6 months.
Yes.
You can come and say, I'm here for 2 weeks. You could overstay. You're not going to be in legal problem or with problems with the Border Patrol.
Yes.
But you will be in a problem if you're there 6 months.
Yes, that's correct.
Beyond 6 months.
Beyond 6 months.
They have their eye on you, like, if anything comes
Like
up,
a hawk.
you in trouble.
Yes.
There's no trouble here in the Bahamas.
We don't even have proper regulation in place to keep tabs on these people.
To see who is who.
Who is who? Who is coming in and when they're supposed to be leaving.
Some come in with documents that are not even theirs, other people's documents.
Completely fraud.
So I repeat, an announcement came forward to the Bahamas that now persons will automatically be given 1 month stay.
Yes.
But there's no maximum limit of how long they can stay in the Bahamas.
That's right.
Foolishness and disregard for my life. Let me speak for me.
Yes.
And for my family.
That's right.
That's a lack of care, lack of due care and attention.
Yes.
If I do that on the road, you'll arrest me.
Of course they would.
If I'm driving without due care and attention.
Yeah.
Well, this country is being run without due care and attention.
That's right.
That's how I see it.
Yes.
You're bringing down the quality of life and making it more expensive at the same time. This is the height of wickedness. It's costing us more to live, and we're
Yes,
getting
it is.
less. We're getting less
for the
service for the money.
That's correct.
Man,
That's
this is
right.
wickedness, man. I'll
Wickedness
leave
is
it there
the
for
highest
now,
order.
but I am highly upset over the killing of my sister. When I say my sister, you understand I'm saying my
Yes.
sister in the faith,
Yes.
Adriel Moxie, the young woman of God.
Yes.
And we playing around.
I believe we have a call on the line. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I apologize, Professor, and to your guest for calling back, but your guest hitting on some solid points today. That 30-day extension, right? I have a problem with that. In that, when we travel, or the average person travels, they got a week or 2 weeks, maybe more, for their vacation, wherever they go in, right? Here's where the first problem comes in. You come in here for 30 days. Most guests that come in this country leave when the vacation or the time is up 2-3 days, a week or two, because their return trip ticket dictates to that as well.
That's true.
Because you can run into a problem with the airlines if you ain't coming back when you're supposed to come back as a tourist.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So to me, that eliminates 85 to 90% of the people the public think they're talking about. Where it narrows, we have an abundance of females coming in this country to do brothels and night activities at various places.
Okay.
And they are the only ones from time immemorial that always go to immigration asking for extensions or 2 weeks extension, this week extension on their time.
Yes.
So if our government don't be careful in what they are doing, they would have just entered into the realm of pimpism. Illegal pimpism.
Wow.
That is my observation of that 30-day extension and the $200. Thanks again for taking my call.
Okay, caller. Thank you very much.
Please let Cartwright.
Brother Cartwright, I know he is a lot.
Please let Cartwright get going, please.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brother Hyler. Good afternoon, Mr. Producer. And good afternoon to the global family and audience all over.
Yeah.
That last caller touched on something and brought back my thesis when I was in high school, which was studying history, which was one of my top subjects. And many said that with the extension, and he referred to women from different countries overstaying.
Yeah.
And he said it goes to the height of pimpsy. I said to myself, do the caller realize that the history of the Bahamas said we were a pirate republic? And the old motto of the Bahamas was expulsus piracy, restore commerce, which was Latin. Expel piracy, restore commerce. Now, we have changed, we have grown, but apparently it seems that the pirate mentality is still with us. And so when he's asked if they're just for the money, I would say to that caller, my dear brother, name me one pirate you know doesn't love money. Now, when we deal with the Minister of National Security, we've been down this road over and over with us with capital punishment. It got to the point where the Privy Council made a suggestion to us and said, listen, only you in the Bahamas, the Parliament and the Bahamian people can decide what is the worst of the worst. We have to now look at those who we elect and make demands of them. We know in our Constitution, only the Parliament can make laws. So I would look at the parliament. I'm not just looking at the present administration, the parliament in its entirety. You mean to tell me that none of you guys and ladies, including in the Senate besides the president, has an opinion what should be defined as the worst of the worst? I always say to persons that your personal view is your personal view. But when you sit in parliament, you sit there to represent the people's affairs, not yours. And if the people has some complaints or you have some opposing views to the people that you represent, then you take it to the people, get their input, and then you carry it back to your parliamentary colleagues, and you guys discuss it. I think it is high time that our parliament put aside their personal views and look at this discussion of defining what should be capital offense and what should be the penalty. If they decide and the public wants to go the death penalty, so be it. If the public wants to go many crimes that they say this should be capital punishment by death, that's it. Or if they define other avenues, that's it. But you will never know if you don't discuss, you don't talk, and you don't bring it to the people.
That's correct.
And I think it's high time now our parliamentarians got to understand that, one, your job is no longer tied to the political machinery that got you elected. Your job as a parliamentarian is to represent, to provide good governance, and also provide economic for the masses, which is the Bahamian citizen, not the non-citizenry, the Bahamian citizenry. Because when you look at the Constitution of the Bahamas, it doesn't say anything in the preambles pertaining to the Bahamians and others. It only refers to we, the successors.
Amen.
And inheritors.
And inheritors.
Inheritors and successors.
Yes, and it doesn't say it on the others.
No, no.
Mhm.
It made it clear and plain, and it also goes into further details, and it tells you about Christian spiritual values, and it closes out by saying the God of the Bahamas.
Yes, sir.
So it tells you that your job is to represent the people of the Bahamas.
And the God of the Bahamas.
That's
So
right.
whatever you do, you know, like I tell people over and over now, I used to be a strong proponent of popping necks. I would not lie to you. But I have taken the stance, this is my view, that if you commit heinous crimes in our country, you should spend the rest of your natural life until the Almighty call you home without any payroll. No parole for you. And I think I would suggest that some of the crimes that I would figure to be formed for capital punishment, like the crime we saw with the young lady, the young school girl, the Marco Archers.
Yes.
There are crimes like whereby that people say someone get killed in a state of anger. I said, okay, I could bring down another verdict for that. But some of the crimes we've seen happen in our country where people were shot multiple times about the body, that's intentional.
Very much so.
Premeditated.
If you see whereby that someone assaults someone with a instrument and the coroner said the person was basically was brutalized, it tells you that that's intentional.
Right.
These are the things as we look at persons who are dealing with minors or, molestation, whether it's boys or girls. These are the crimes that I would consider them heinous. And once the parliament basically decides and discusses with the people and they ratify those things, you then make it law.
Yes.
Stop passing the buck, stop pretending and kicking the can. I think the new Minister of National Security needs to understand that his role of national security is for protection of the citizens and its guests. But his major role is to protect the citizens. I knew that he used to be a defense attorney, but he has to now realize that that coat he used to wear as a defense attorney is no longer wearable by him because he is no longer a defense attorney. He is the country's man of business to assist the attorney general in prosecuting, gathering the evidence, and having that information passed on to the attorney general, whereby that these persons are basically taken before the court and prosecuted by the extent of the law. He should be the one, along with the attorney general, leading the charge in the Senate. That's where the attorney general is right now, and him in the parliament with his colleagues crafting a definition of what is recommended to be voice of the voice and take it to the people.
Yes.
And get their input. And whatever they say, you basically come back to parliament and you guys ratify it, or you amend it, or you basically table it. And you, if you're not comfortable with it, take it to a referendum. Let the people decide, because it's only them who basically gives you the authority to make laws. So parliament, you make laws, but if you are afraid to make laws, take it to the people, let them referendum, and let them decide.
Yes.
We are no longer sitting back, because what we are now seeing in our country now, we are now starting to see a lot of retribution killings, especially amongst our young men.
Yes.
And so the only way you can bring crime down or under a semblance for the citizenry to feel safe is that you have to now look at measures that aren't working, and introduce new measures.
Yes.
One of the biggest things that most young men complain about is that a lot of our young men basically have been to prison once in their time. But the reason why we have so many repeat offenders is because there's no avenue for those who basically committed minor crimes, or what we call non-aggressive crimes. There's no recourse for them. We look at our areas, what we call urban renewal. And like I said to Professor the other day, what is an urban renewal area? We have not had no one in Parliament define how many areas in the Bahamas is considered urban. Because if it's all the Bahamas, that means there's no area. I don't think you can call Life at Key urban. I don't think you can call
Old Fort Bay.
Yeah, Old Fort Bay or Palm
Blair.
Key or Blair.
Yes.
You know, I live in a city, so I know that's part of the urban.
Oh, that's urban.
And I said to people and stuff, Parliament, especially those MPs who represent those areas, speak to the constituents. You don't have all the answers. They might not have all the answers. But if you put your ideas together, you can come up with some great solutions. Work with the church. You know, one of the things I've looked at, Professor, is this.
Yes.
We have all these schools in our constituencies. We have a lot of our young men sitting down, and we will never approach them and say, hey, what is your trade skill? And let's make them feel a part of the community.
Yes.
We look at urban renewal, most of the people we staff there is females and police. But when you see if something happened in the neighborhood, who does the police go to? They don't go to the women. They go to the same young men. And then you wonder why they give you an attitude, don't want to help.
Yes.
You're only looking for them to basically give you information when you could have basically have them basically participating and protecting their community.
That is true. You're quite right about that. Yes, Article 24.1 of your Constitution tells you to do some very specific things. Bahamians, we can use that article, Article 2, Article 52.1, and some other articles in the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas. That's the supreme law. That's what we're going to base everything on. And the Holy Bible. We can't leave that out either. We're going to go to a break. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur, Walter Thompson. The lines to open 326-0271, 326-0272, 813-0271. This is Open Line Friday. Anything is up for discussion now. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
This Thanksgiving, treat yourself to a delicious feast at the Cricket Club. Enjoy our holiday lunch special featuring glazed ham, roasted turkey, seafood stuffing, and a variety of classic sides like peas and rice, crab and rice, coleslaw, mac and cheese, and more. Top it off with your choice of dessert, carrot, chocolate, or cheesecake, all for just $28. Or indulge in our seafood platter with steak and shrimp, mahi-mahi and shrimp, served with your favorite sides and dessert for only $31. Join us at the Cricket Club, located Haynes Oval, West Bay Street. Call 326-4720 to reserve your spot today.
Hey there, are you ready for the holidays? Well, Windermere Day Spa is turning it up to start the season with a fantastic Black Friday sale. They're giving a whopping 20% off all full-price gift card sales, and they are offering delivery. At Windermere Day Spa, you can experience true head-to-toe pampering. You deserve it. Nail and hair care services, soothing facials, exhilarating massages, body wraps and scrubs. Your body is saying, let's do it. This Black Friday, call Windermere Day Spa and purchase your full price gift cards at a whopping 20% off. And remember, they deliver to locations: Cave Village, 321-613-506, or Harbor Bay at 393-8788 or 393-0033.
As we celebrate the season of Thanksgiving, Variety Disposable Products would like to wish you and yours a very blessed Thanksgiving season. Throughout the month of November, Variety Disposable will donate to Hands for Hunger and invite you to do the same. Variety is stocked with all of your essentials, such as food and cake trays, stuffing, seasonings, foil pans, and oval pans for your ham and turkey. Visit Variety Disposable Products located on Faith Avenue and Soldier Road, or call us at 341-9010 or 325-7071.
At Audio Plus, we carry a large selection of DJ and audio products like speakers, mixers, microphones, car audio players, and much more. You can also find a wide selection of musical instruments like marching drums, Junkanoo drums in a wide variety of colors, trumpets, clarinets, trombones, Yamaha keyboards, and Fender guitars at special low prices. Visit Audio Plus on Soldier Road, located in the Cary's Plaza. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Phone number 394-6668. Audio Plus, your #1 music store.
Whether you're shopping for Mother's Day, Father's Day, back to school, or any occasion for that matter, you are sure to find exactly what you're looking for at the Brass and Leather Shops. Great products like handbags, wallets, backpacks, luggage, belts, shoes, and more are awaiting you. Brand names at the best quality and reasonable prices. Land, Rioni, Kipling, Guess, Travel Light, Herschel, and more. Shop any of our locations. Downtown Charlotte Street, Mall at Marathon, and also the Luggage Store at Palmdale. Be sure to shop Brass and Leather Shops. You'll be glad you did.
Bohemian shoppers know when times are hard and things are tough, it's more sensible and convenient to shop at Y-Cares Fashion Center. Y-Cares has slash prices on brand name clothing and shoes by up to 50%, including academics, Clarks, polo, and hundreds of jeans and dicky pants. And as much as 70% on selected items. Choose from a large selection of beds, sheets, rugs, and towels, all at affordable prices. Y-Cares on 3 locations to serve you: Bahama Avenue, Prince Charles, and East Street South near the Sir Charles Hotel. Y-Cares, where you can afford to look good.
From Cable Beach to Montague, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on Open Line Friday. We have so many things to discuss, and Bahamians, this is a hot seat today. I didn't know it was going to get so hot. But anytime I come to this show, something can happen. Something can change. I may have a schedule I want to go by and find that at the very last minute, there has to be a change. Or something comes up, which is very important. We have so many things that have been happening in this country. We need guidance. We need leadership. We need direction from God. We are letting not God guide us and lead us. I mean, not following the Constitution. So right there, we have 2 things happening. No guidance from God and no constitutional guidance. Mr. Producer, you could play that tape, please.
I'm looking for solutions. When you start talking about hanging, that's not a solution, right? That's after the fact. That's after somebody would have died or been killed. I'm trying to prevent killing. So talking about what one has to exact after an offense has been committed. That's where my focus right now. My focus is stopping offenses from being committed. It's on prevention, not on punishment at this time. Punishment has its place, and yes, people should be punished and would be punished according to law. But in the meantime, I think our efforts should continue to be preventing things from happening. It's not a government issue. Right? First of all, sentencing is a matter for the courts. It's not a matter for the executive. The court decides what would happen, and the court are constrained by what the law is. Hanging is on the books. It's not been suspended. It's just that certain criteria have to be met to be able to carry it out. And if those and to date, I don't know any one that met the criteria.
Listen, Bahamians, you heard what the Prime Minister said? Those are some very serious remarks that were made. I'm going to let my guest comment on it and I'll come in later. Brother Hyler, go ahead, please.
Professor, let me come from a different angle.
Okay.
Coming in hot with this one. Look how convenient it is that our Prime Minister would say, it's a matter for the courts.
Yeah, I heard that.
They need to deal with it.
Yeah.
Why then is the executive blocking information in the courts, blocking information through the Attorney General, who is not allowed the permanent secretaries to come forward to speak the public's business?
Yeah.
Look at how convenient it is. Sentencing and law, reserve it for the courts. It's not for the executive.
That's what he said.
So let me say it a different way. You know it's not for the executive? To block Michael Pintard and the opposition if he seeks information from permanent secretaries on contracts or public-private partnerships.
Yes.
You see the duplicitousness?
Yes.
You see the mishandling of the law? It's overreach is what it's called. And it's called political interference. That's literally what it is. Political interference. When you're ready to reach into the court, you're reaching into the courts.
Yes.
But now that the public is outraged and want action according to what the law states,
yes,
you don't want to carry out what the law says or what God himself recommends.
That's right.
So we have a new God now, or somebody who is putting their view and policy higher than the Holy Bible.
The man said he wants solutions. That's the first statement he made.
You don't want no solutions.
Is he really seeking for solutions? And talk about he's not concerned about punishment, about prevention. Give me a break, man. Go ahead, Brother Hyler.
Professor, it has to end somewhere. For over a year, we've been aware now that almost no information is flowing through the government when it comes to legal affairs and the public purse, the public money, the people's funds.
Yes.
We do not have information. It is being blocked. So I'm just repeating for the public now. They may say, well, what Hyler is saying, is this true? I need you to understand that we were told, we just listened to the tape.
Yeah, we listened to the tape.
The Prime Minister said it's not a matter for the executive. This falls underneath, and we do have a caller, this falls underneath what is called separation of powers.
I don't think he knows what that means.
The executive is one branch of the government. The judiciary is a different branch to be carrying out justice without interference from the executive branch or the Prime Minister.
That is correct.
Then we have the legislative branch. That's another matter. We have a call. The Speaker of the House is the captain of the legislation of this country. Not, she don't have to look. Miss Patricia DeVoe does not have to look to the Prime Minister to determine whether or not we're gonna bring the Freedom of Information Act forward. So we have a weak government because it is compromised. This is what this is what Mr. Cartwright has been trying to tell you all. We are compromised. The ship is taking on water and we are sinking.
We're going to get to Brother Cartwright, but I believe we have a call on the line. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Brother Holler. Good afternoon, young man who is talking, Professor Thompson,
yes.
Kendall Hanna, Freeport. Well, I come to add to the problems. Well, right now they got cancer. Kidney month, Professor and guest. This is the next problem we got because our kidney problem is lack of minerals. They stopped giving us the minerals in the water, no matter what water, alkaline, no matter what water you buy. Certain personality was on the show first, and I mentioned this like 4 years ago. Now they back. So we have to get knowledgement about it. The 1997 when they made the movie Adam Sandler, Water Boy, that's when they introduced us to H2O. There's no more minerals in the water. When we had wells in the 70s and the 60s and limestone and moss all around and the water so cold like ice with the well, they fed us out and said it give us gallstone. Now we into the water table with no minerals. So we still have to look at them aspect as a race to move on because our health is in jeopardy. Diabetes don't cause diabetes don't cause kidney problem and all that there. The lack of minerals. Diabetes, sugar don't cause diabetes. They come up with that narrative to sell the insulin, to sell the insulin, because we all know minerals clean your pancreas, minerals clean your liver, minerals clean your kidney. We don't drink no more minerals. That's why we got kidney failure all over the Bahamas. You understand? So coconut water, anything growing that grow, it got the minerals in it.
Okay.
And the water they buying us, don't care what water it is, no minerals, H2O, liquid. And everything they do wrong does, Professor, they got to tell us the truth. So when they made that movie Water Boy, it wasn't about football, it was about the water. H2O, no more minerals. This is why we're dying of kidney failure right now. So we're in trouble with that too. So we have to get with that too, Professor and guests. Y'all have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Very strong contribution.
Very strong
Professor, continue. Let me just say, coming into the new year, we know we're going to have to deal with health overall in a very strong way.
Yes, sir.
But what Hannah is saying concerning no minerals, is right on. And is 100% correct. We need minerals in our diet, and we in trouble because of it. As a matter of fact, when we drink that, what we call it alkaline water, you have water that is reverse osmosis, but you also have water that it has mineral in it and is alkaline because, or like certain water we know where there's glacier water or Perry, certain water out of France in particular.
Yeah.
France is basically, they're the masters of mineral water. That's all they basically drink.
Yes.
And they have a lot of springs. But just wanted to highlight that is very critical.
Now I need you to highlight something else because this man has appointed an attorney general.
We'll get right back to that.
He is appointed also a minister of national security.
Yes,
you want
sir.
to speak to that now?
Well, I'll speak to it briefly, but I want to hear more from Mr. Cartwright on that. Let me touch it. Let me touch it now.
Yes.
If we elect one man and he demands that everybody do exactly what he say, we have a dictatorship.
Is that constitutionally sound?
It is definitely not.
Okay.
Because we have representation in every area based on your expertise. If we have an attorney general, he is the lawyer and legal advisor.
Yes.
They have this thing called serve at the what do you call it? The privilege of the prime minister.
So they say.
That's what they're calling it,
Yeah.
I serve at the privilege of that. Allowing him to do what he say. That's not constitutional.
No, it's not.
You do what your people who voted you. You have their votes. The prime minister could only give you one vote. The people, you need thousands of votes. And if you are honored to be in a position to serve the public, you are dishonoring your call if you are not serving the public.
A professional mandate from the Constitution.
Yes, sir.
And the Constitution doesn't say that.
No, it's constituency representation.
Yes. Okay. We have a caller?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Producer, thank you very much. Caller, you're live on air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Professor, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
And good afternoon, the guests, and good afternoon, the Bahamas.
Yeah,
Professor,
good day.
guess what? He right and he wrong. I can tell you why. Professor, I sit down and listen to a lawyer. And Professor, you got to mark this down. I sit down and listen to a lawyer, right? He say you can hang, right? But the judges them and the judges them ain't gonna let nobody dictate to them. Like how you gonna go and mess up the Constitution? The judge and lawyers, they ain't gonna let no one dictate to them. You can't tell them hang. If that case got solid evidence, they could do it. But they ain't gonna listen to no one dictate to them. And listen, and I always say this, and I can say this over and over and over. Professor, you guys mark that down. You know how the judges them operate. The judge will call you in front of them and charge you with some kind of thing. But you're not going to dictate to them. And listen to me, Professor. I can say this and I can say it again. Hanging is not to stop crime. Hanging is what the bond says when you take a life. If it's not self-defense, your life should be taken. Let me say it one more time before I go, Professor. Hanging is not to stop crime. Hanging is to show God creation. You take a life, it's not self-defense, we can take your life. We ain't trying to stop no crime. We ain't trying to do nothing. Be this, you take a life, it's not self-defense, we can take your life. And Professor, I go on. Have you all have a blessed day.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Brother Cartwright.
Yes, I think the Prime Minister doesn't know his role, because how can you say that you is not a major issue for you? Only the Parliament of the Bahamas makes laws. The courts can only go by the laws that are basically put on the books.
Yes.
So if you follow the Constitution and you make constitutional laws that lines with the Constitution, no judge...
Statute law. Statute
Yes.
law line with the Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so
okay.
no law,
Yeah.
so no judge, no attorney can say we are not following it, because he would then find himself in contempt of the court.
That's right.
So when I hear the Prime Minister's talking about he's looking for solutions and answers, his first priority should have been, you got elected on a mandate. Your mandate should have already included solutions to the problems that you met when you came into office.
Exactly.
So if you have not provided answers, then why are you there?
Good question.
Why are you there? Did you tell the people the truth that you wanted to become the leader of our nation just to sit down
and collect taxes?
That
That's all
isn't-
we feeling from them.
That isn't what you were elected. You were elected to govern. And you got to understand this, Mr. Prime Minister. I know you might be a person who might not believe in Satan punishments, but that's your personal view. That has nothing to do with the law. And you're right when you said that hanging is a punishable offense that's after the fact. But what are you doing before the fact to deter you and your colleagues in Parliament? What are you guys doing to deter?
Prevention, as he said.
Yes, as you call it, preventions. I haven't heard any member of Parliament come and people say to the public and say, we're looking for some answers to resolve some of our problems dealing with crime. I haven't heard any member of Parliament talks about expanding the First Offenders Act. And I've said this over and over. We have many of our young men, because those are the ones we see paraded before the courts. We don't
That's
see our
correct.
young women.
No.
We see our young men. And if you take, like my father used to say, and I'm not trying to use this in a derogatory manner, but if you beat an animal and you continue to beat that animal will become aggressive to you.
That's right.
So if you send a young man to prison, but you don't teach him any skills or anything for him to get back in society, what do you think is going to happen if every time he goes to look for work, honestly, and the person said, oh, bring your police record. Oh, you've been to prison. I can't hire you.
Yes.
What do you expect to happen? The only way you can curb and deter young people away from crime is that you have to implement good programs and policies.
Yes.
Based on reform.
Yeah. You keep bragging about reform. So here it is. You were a criminal lawyer, Mr. PM. So if you were so adamant in protecting your client, why not protect your whole client, which is us, the Bahamian people?
Excellent.
Come up with solutions, please.
Brother Cartwright, they got to interrupt you right now. We have a caller on the line. We can let you continue afterwards. Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Very good.
Good day. Good day.
This is one of the reasons why I'm so disappointed in this administration, in particular, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Monroe. Wayne Monroe is one of the most brightest criminal minds in the Bahamas.
For who? Hold on, caller. Hold on. For who? Brightest criminal minds for who?
For his clients.
Oh, okay. All right.
So he knows all the loopholes to get his clients out on bail or to get them out on these cases.
Okay.
Why isn't he closing those loopholes and doing what he needs to do to protect the citizenry of the Bahamas? He is not a private practice no more.
No.
Okay.
He chose to be the country's the Minister of National Security. That's what he chose to do.
Yes.
So if you choose to take that position, your interest now is the interest of the Bahamian people. So why are you not protecting the Bahamian people? Okay. Why it seems like you're trying to leave these loopholes open so that when you get back into private practice, that you could continue using these.
And then complain about it after he's out of power.
Exactly. So this is most disappointing.
Possibly. Let me just say, possibly.
But all we have to do is look at his track record.
But
his track record speaks for itself.
If we look at his track records and reference his clients, he has an almost perfect track record. But look at his track record and reference to the Bahamian people.
Yes. That's what we have to look at now.
Yes. And that's why we're talking about now, caller.
What's most important to Mr. Monroe? Is the protection of his clientele or the protection of the Bahamian people? And this is one of the reasons why this administration, they wouldn't see the sun from the smoke when this election, when the next election come up, because they don't have the Bahamian best interest at heart.
Yes, sir.
It's being proven. From crime to immigration to taxes, they do not have the Bahamian best interest at heart. We're suffering
badly, yes.
You're hearing it daily.
And apparently the Prime Minister, he is completely disconnected.
We ain't finished with him yet.
Caller, let me say briefly, caller, I have to go ahead and say the name. The Prime Minister was, I believe, possibly the first guest on a particular nighttime talk show, The Rundown with Clint Watson. He said the country is finally on the right path.
According to him.
I could almost guarantee you that the Prime Minister was given those questions in advance for him to prepare his answers. I could almost promise you that.
Okay.
Only Christ could come and tell me that wasn't so.
All right.
Understood.
I'll hang up and continue to listen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, caller. The
caller was very
But a card right away.
Very on point.
Yes, it was.
Because I'm always going to Parliament, and I might try my very best to relay to the parliamentarians the concerns that the average Joe on the street has. And I always say to them, I say, listen, man, the payment public, if you don't listen to them, you're going to get what your predecessors got.
Yes.
Run out of Dodge. People elected you because they said, we want to take a different path.
Yes.
But look like you guys want to keep the same old path and wouldn't change. You know, when you hear the Prime Minister telling people that first he talked about with an immigration where you extended. When you travel into any country, they ask you first thing, how long
you want to stay?
You want to stay here.
Exactly.
And that part when you said that before your time is up, if you want extension, that don't have to be guaranteed, that don't have to be given.
No, they don't have to be given.
Right.
You go and you have to make it a plausible reason for them to allow to extend you.
Right. Exactly.
And like the caller said earlier, you said was out of Forts and Castle.
Yes.
Most of the people who get these extensions are, like you said, females from other countries who are basically in some nefarious
activities.
Acts.
Yes.
And it's like you sacrificing the sanctity of this nation for a couple $100.
And then there's a lot of pregnant mothers too who may not have delivered quite as yet. and they would come forward to get an extension,
right,
so they can finish their business here.
Yeah, but that isn't right.
I believe we got to go to a break now. My producer's telling me I got to go to a break. You know, he's very nice when he tells me these things. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson. The lines are open 326-0271, 326-0272-813-0271. We got Facebook and we got YouTube and we got, um, uh, oh, um, anyhow. Cable 974. I keep forget that. Cable 974. This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network. We'll be back after the break.
Express Yourself Live will return right after this.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island, a November to remember sale, starting at $150 per night plus taxes and fees. For single or double occupancy, receive a fourth night free with 3 paid nights. Limited inventory available and blackout date supply. Advance booking is required. We're offering free food and beverage credit up to $50 based on your length of stay. Redeemable at our Crusoe's restaurant and splash pool bar. VAT and gratuity is not included. All guests of Comfort Suites enjoy complimentary use of Atlantis, including Aquaventure Water Park, daily complimentary full American buffet breakfast, free Wi-Fi, free parking, kids 11 and under stay free in the room with a parent and eat free at Crusoe's restaurant with each paying adult. Call us today at 605-6300 or 363-3680 or WhatsApp us at 55-SUITE, that's 557-8483, or for valid through November 18th, 2024. Comfort Suites Paradise Island, offering comforting days and sweet nights.
At Audio Plus, we carry a large selection of DJ and audio products like speakers, mixers, microphones, car audio players, and much more. You can also find a wide selection of musical instruments like marching drums, Junkanoo drums in a wide variety of colors, trumpets, clarinets, trombones, Yamaha keyboards, and Fender guitars at special low prices. Visit Audio Plus on Soldier Road, located in the Caries Plaza. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Phone number 394-6668. Audio Plus, your #1 music store.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
If your Black Friday looks like any other day, you're shopping in the wrong place. It's that time of the year, our annual 3 days of total blackout at Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center. Mark your calendars for November 28th, 29th, and 30th. Join us for the biggest, craziest Black Friday weekend sale you've ever seen. Get ready to snag thousands of items straight from Amazon, Home Depot, and Walmart, all sold at their original online prices. Don't believe us? Bring your cell phone and Google it. If Amazon's list price is $20, you pay $20. That's right, freight and duty included. Where? We'll be waiting for you on Mackey Street under the big red and white tent. Come for the deals, stay for the experience. Save like never before. Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center's 3 days of total blackout. Call us now at 698-0123 or WhatsApp 557-2522. See you there on November 28th, 29th, and 30th.
From East Street to Blue Hill Road, it's your chance to join the discussion of today's issue. Yeah, let your voice be heard. Speak your mind and express yourself. Call in and participate at 326-0271 or 326-0272. WhatsApp us your concerns on 809-2310. Follow us live on Facebook and globalradio99.5fm.com. Express yourself.
This is Professor Sidney McArthur, Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. Some exciting things are happening here. This is the hot seat today, Bahamians. You don't know until you get into it. That's what I was warned some time ago, but I didn't see it back then. But now when you experience it, it's a whole different ball game. And Bahamians, we have some serious problems, very, very serious problems. We have to utilize the Holy Bible and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Bahamas to find solutions to these problems. Brother Cartwright.
Yes, we have some Facebook comments, starting off with Ms. Sandra Carey. She says, if our government and our police break it, our law, including our Constitution, Stanley Johnson said the PLP and FNM don't deserve to sit in the chair as the governor of the Bahamas come 2026 election. Mr. Cleary says again, the man, like his leader, I convinced, he calls every day to hear himself. Mr. Johnson goes on again and say that man would have no care for the Bahamian people at all. Lloyd Bullock says, stop this mess. This government runs the court. Lloyd continues, Brave and Mr. Monroe are criminal lawyers, and the criminals, they know. As Kerry said, PM always put his foot in his mouth. Yes, why are you always interfering with the court at his convenience? Mr. Bullock said, everyone in strategic position in this country bought off, hence the corruption that's in the country. Stanley Johnson said the ship is 70% underwater.
Wow.
Stanley Johnson said catch rainwater.
Wow.
Lloyd Bullock said our bodies need electrolyte, referring to with the water, the minerals. Then Mr. Bullock comes back and said, Mr. Davis appointed the AG, not the people, which is true. Ms. Carey said what the FNM was doing, complaining about things the FNM didn't do when they were in the seat. They had solutions. Now, but when in position, they had no solution. Mr. Bullock said the PM is not disconnected. He knows exactly what he's doing. So Johnson said we need change and change straight, voting out the PLP and FNM. Mr. Bullock again. Okay, Bahamians, if we don't unite before the election 2026, Brave will remain in office. I think that might be the end of the Facebook comments.
Yeah, very interesting comments from people on Facebook, and it's good that people expressing their views. That's what the show is all about, for people to express their views and contribute to the freedom of expression that we have in this country today. But of course now, Bahamians, let me tell you right now that there are some specific things you can do, and you're going to hear that from me in due course, because you know I'm going to Constitution Monday coming up. And we are going to tell you precisely how you can help and assist in these burdensome problems that we are confronted with today. Now, my producer is going to play a tape from the minister, honorable minister. Oh, we have a call. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Call you live on air. Go ahead, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Professor. How are you? And
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing quite well. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Professor.
Yes, ma'am.
I was too emotional when I heard about the little 12-year-old little girl.
Yes.
Even if you watch the news, even the head of police who was talking about it, he was emotional.
Yes, he was.
Okay. I'm calling because in this country,
There's a lot. I'm calling. There's a lot of noise in the background.
from my radio.
Yeah, you need to turn it off completely.
Okay. My thing is, we are important when it's time to go to the polls and vote for them.
Yes, ma'am.
And then after that, they forget who put them there.
Okay.
So why can't something be implemented that they're over their head on solving crime?
Yes, ma'am.
Why can't they have something called town meetings on suggestions?
Yes, ma'am.
Because after that they forget who put them there. The people put them there, so they should have some kind of say. Okay, if they had a town meeting and the topic was how to punish men who rape kids,
yes,
my suggestion would be, and I am so serious with this, when they find the person, put them up on a pole out in the midst of Bay Street.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know those bee clippers with the gardeners that use to clip the trees?
Yes.
Let's say this child was 12. Invite every mother or father that has a little girl that age and line them up and buy a new clipper and let them just clip. Because the person on the pole don't have no clothes on.
Yes, ma'am.
And each parent come up and they clip and they clip and they clip until it get down to nothing to clip.
Yes, ma'am.
And then they could tell the rest of the parents, well, you know, it's been taken care of. You will see a downsize in that crime.
Yes, ma'am.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay?
Yes,
that will be my solution.
Yes.
Just get those clipper with the gardener's tissues and just clip. Every mother, whether, let's say even if it was a 5-year-old, every mother that has a 5-year-old, let them line up and just clip. That would be my solution.
Yes, ma'am.
You got to get strong in this country.
I agree with
you. got to get serious instead of tapping on the hands and just doing them 2-3 years and they coming out doing the same thing.
It's not working.
It's not working.
I think if we would have a town meeting today and that suggestion you put forth, you won't have enough standing room in that place.
I'm telling you. That's what I would suggest. And how much you will bet you will see a downsize in that crime?
No, you will. You certainly
will. You will see a downside. You ever hear the saying, 2 heads are better than one?
Yes, ma'am.
Because sometimes they got to realize if they can't come up with it, there's other people who have other suggestions that might work and put this crime down in this country.
Yes.
We agree with you because what is happening now is simply not working.
It's not working. You got to turn to another page.
Yes, ma'am. You have to.
And different solutions.
Yes.
And I guarantee that person can't rape another child.
You'll never see that in life.
Never.
That one will be put down. No doubt about it.
I'm sure that particular crime will be put down if they would do that.
And it ties in with what God's word says. They will hear and they will fear.
Amen.
No ifs, no ands, no buts. The man say at the top of his statement he's looking for solutions.
Yes.
You know.
Is he serious about that, Brother Cartwright? You're going to let you come.
Clip. And then trust me, just them hearing my voice saying it, they will think twice before they go do it.
Yes, ma'am.
They'll think twice before they do it. Just let them clip and don't let it be a dull one. Let it be a new one.
No, it can be a sharp one.
A sharp one. Make sure
we can make sure I send it to someone who specializes in sharpening instruments.
Yes.
I got one like that right now.
Yes.
Boy, that could clip.
Sharpen it. So when that mother clip, and I don't care if they clip there, only a whole leaf there.
Yes, ma'am.
This thing gets me so angry now.
Yes, ma'am. I can understand your concern, ma'am, and I appreciate you calling me.
Okay.
Yes. All the best to you now.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
You know, Professor.
Yeah, go ahead. But
one of the things that I always take a step back, and I always tell people that I always look around the world to see how they deal with Satan crimes and how they basically keep things in order.
Yeah.
If you notice that most of the Islamic, I wouldn't say Muslim, but Islamic faith countries, their policies on crime, we would say very stringent.
Yeah.
They don't compromise that for nobody.
Not at all.
And one of the things I've always learned was that I remember a friend of mine went to Thailand and he said, you know, when you come off the airport and you look in the airport, he said, I never knew there were that many languages. And it all says one thing in that language. If you're caught in Thailand bringing drugs into Thailand, the penalty is death. It doesn't say you have to be a Thai. If you're caught. So I said, hold on. He said, bro, that's in every language.
Yeah.
If you see, the one thing I've learned is that policymakers, which is our parliament, have to put aside a lot of their personal feelings towards solutions and take up the mantle of being a parliamentarian. The only way you preserve your country as a parliamentarian, there are times you will have to make hard, tough decisions. And it has to be lined up with the Constitution.
Yes, you have
and
to.
If the people want it, you cannot deny them the solutions that they're asking.
That's right.
And so one of the things that I keep looking at and listening for is that I hear the politicians like, well, you can't be I'm not worrying about that. I would tell people this. Bahamians, Amnesty International do not patrol our streets at night.
No, they don't.
Amnesty International doesn't protect our young children during the day or night. Amnesty International or any one of those international
what they would call human rights organizations,
they do not do anything to protect the citizens. If they did, they would give us some solutions.
Yeah.
Provide us some answers how we could basically keep crime down. Provide us with some solutions and how we can protect our borders. Provide us with solutions how we can grow our economy. I am tired of hearing people telling me from the outside, how to maintain my property, because the Bahamas is our property.
Yeah.
And I think we elected a few people from amongst us, 39, if I remember correctly,
Right.
from amongst us, the population, to do our affairs.
That's right.
Your job, Mr. Parliamentarian, Madam Parliamentarian, is to find solutions. If you don't have solutions, there's one thing you can do. We don't have to wait for you to go to a general election. You can step down and we'll have a by-election and we'll replace you.
That's right.
But we cannot have you telling us
That's the solution.
that you have no solution. There are many solutions. You can choose, like the lady said, have town meetings and not be afraid of having these in your community. Speak to the people.
For consultation.
You want it now. You say you need this conversation. You want some answers, but you don't ask no one nothing.
Yes.
We always tell us that you consult with some people, but we never know
Who the hell did they consult with?
Who the people are.
A handful of people.
So if you truly want us to understand and treat you fairly, then be honest with us.
Yeah.
Come forward. Tell us the truth. We know, we could see by your actions, many of you guys in the parliament and ladies don't believe in capital punishment. We said, okay, is there another solution? Come and present it.
Yeah.
For the last 50 plus years, I would say the last 40 plus years, we went away from capital punishment
Yes.
because you all said it was too barbaric. And so what happens? The criminal evolve. But you, the parliamentarian, hasn't evolved.
That's right.
His finances evolved though, because they're making a lot of money off of criminals.
Yeah, but not everybody in parliament is a lawyer. But my thing is this: you have many parliamentarians, not only lawyers, but many of them in the parliament don't believe in capital punishment. So if you have your personal view overriding the view and the will of the people,
that's the problem.
That's a conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest, yeah. You're quite right. Oh.
Yes, tape ready.
Oh, the tape. Oh,
Yes.
Mr. Producer, you can go ahead and play the tape on the Minister of National Security.
My take on it is when people call for punishment, sometimes it is to try and shift the responsibility. So if we hang somebody, that will solve all the problems, therefore I don't have to do anything. Insofar as that is concerned, that's misguided. If you look at the statistics, hanging is on the books, as no doubt the Prime Minister would have advised. It's a matter for the court. And the person who decides whether they charge you with a capital offense is the Director of Public Prosecutions. And under the last administration, they made that an independent post by legislation. And so capital punishment is on the books. It's a matter for the judiciary. The government can't dictate the courts what sentences to impose.
Are we at a point in society now where there needs to be more pressure put on the judiciary to be able to hand down these stiffer penalties as a deterrent for crime?
The judiciary is secure in their tenure and independent to be insulated from such pressures because they're the guardians of all of our rights, the majority and the minority. And so the law is quite there, whether the final court of appeal is the Privy Council, the Caribbean Court of Justice, or our Court of Appeal. The courts will apply the law as they see it.
I want the Minister of National Security to stop misleading the public. He's not being honest with the Bahamian people. There is no such thing as no independent director of public prosecution. Check your constitution. It is not there. So don't talk no foolishness and no nonsense. The director of public prosecutions must follow direction from the Attorney General if he gives him an oral or written instruction. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That's in your constitution. They made the change to the constitution. Didn't need a referendum for it. There's no such thing as no independent director of public prosecution. Stop misleading the public, Minister of National Security. I don't like it at all. It is not true. Brother Cartwright, go ahead.
Professor, I do beg to differ because the last administration did, as he said, did make it, but the last administration was in violation of the Constitution.
Yes, they were.
So him being now the Minister of National Security and should know better, that he's supposed to now, in this administration, make the correction.
The correction was never made.
Never made. So he is now playing kick the can, it ain't me. But if the fella in front of you make a mistake, and he didn't know no better, and he make a mistake, you are a KC, could make the corrections. See, you misleading, Professor. And he is misleading.
Yes, he is.
Because he know you have certain things has to be done through a lot of it the Constitution.
Of course.
So if you see that the previous administration made a mockery in the Constitution, it is you now to correct it.
Do you all realize if what you all are saying is false, you all could be sued?
But you hear what I'm saying again. If
you all are not mistaken, I'm just saying, do you all realize?
Let me say
Go
this,
ahead,
let me ask.
Yeah.
There is no mistake.
I know that.
I know that for a fact.
You
There
know-
is no such thing as no independent director of public prosecution.
That's clear.
Check their constitution yourself.
That's clear.
Anyone out there who thinks it's different, go and check the evidence yourself. I am saying to you, the Minister of National Security is misleading the public.
I wanted
That's a
to,
fact.
I wanted to, you do have a call. I
We
just
have a
wanted
call.
to,
Go ahead,
I just
Brother
wanted to add, Professor, that's how serious the matter is that we're discussing.
Yes.
If it was misinformation, it could be contested even to the level of suing, what they call defamation and all this other stuff. We could take the call. Yeah.
Caller, you live on air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, gentlemen? Angel here.
Hey,
Yeah,
good
Brother
day.
Hansel.
Good day,
Man,
Hansel.
sorry for not making it in today. I end up had some emergencies on the job, so that's what kind of killed the time. But I definitely be the next week. But Mr. Thompson
Yeah,
and,
okay.
and Hyla and Mr. Cadre,
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is because if you compare that same talk, what you just played, and you go back to that clip with Mr. Monroe when he was out of Parliament, vying for Parliament,
Yes.
he was all aggressive and all for the punishment of criminals and how the police ain't doing their job and how we need to have a commission inquiry on the police. And I mean, so it's like you could kind of now take a snapshot
Yes.
and see how they play the games, the tricks,
Right.
you see? And so I'm glad we calling him out because this is disturbing. You know, he is a national, and then he talks as if he has no knowledge of the law. He's a lawyer.
Yes.
And a
And a
King's
criminal
Counsel.
defense lawyer.
And
Yes,
a King's
he is.
Counsel at that.
So, I mean, and then he talk about, say, okay, he's saying now, he put on the judiciary, say, okay, they could, the prosecution department, okay, they could pass down sentences for capital punishment. But if that's the case, how much more, what is hideous crime? How much more crime that we have to experience? A rape, turned to murder.
Yes.
People shot down and killed, caught, okay? I mean, what more do we have to define, or why can't they just, if that's just a simple defining law, what the worst crime is to be considered for capital punishment? I think they should have the time to do that.
You know, but Angel, here's
Hey.
what makes me laugh, right? Here you have a well-learned man in law. A well-learned man in law. And he tries to bamboozle or use, be eloquent with words to confuse the public. We all know that the courts can only make ruling on what is
In the
law.
Yeah, that's correct.
The only people in our country who makes law are him.
Yeah,
He is a member of the parliament. So what are you telling me that the courts only get, because the courts is only going to follow what you basically put in place in front of them.
And you have the nerve to say that they are insulated.
Yes, they
Meaning they have their own autonomy. No one is influencing them.
but they're handcuffed. And this is what I'm trying to say.
Very much so.
Mr. National Security Minister,
yeah.
you can bring changes to laws or statute laws that can now enhance the duty and still keep the autonomy of the court separate.
Yeah.
The courts only basically follow what's on the books.
Yeah.
You cannot ask the court to give a judgment on matters that is not bound by statute law or in line with the Constitution. So this talk is running on with, but who passes this and who do this? It's in their hands first.
It's in their hands.
He knows that.
He knows it. So all of this talk, him and the prime minister and everybody doing the gully woolly boogie woogie and all this stuff. You know, you gotta be
But like Mr.
fair.
Allen say, crime is a business. See, we may not want to dissect the industry of crime, but when you look at the industry of crime and the
It is a
sectors
business.
involved,
Big
right?
business, too.
There's not just only lawyers who benefit when someone get murdered.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of other sectors that are able to benefit. The funeral home could benefit, the coroner office could benefit, the police could benefit, the lawyers could benefit. Okay, everybody a part of that could benefit. That's crime. Crime is a business.
Yeah.
Okay. So in my mind, I don't know if that's how they raising money for the country by allowing all these crimes to happen, because you can't be. We could be way more aggressive than we are when it comes to these
Most
crimes,
definitely.
man.
Most definitely.
Yes, my brother.
Most definitely.
I agree with you.
It's scary, man, because then you talk about a small island, it ain't like we spread out. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, man, to give criminals an indication that they could do more is what I don't want, because you're talking about organized crime now. We're talking about people now depressed, looking for something to do. Smart kids come back to school now, they have to turn to life of crime now. They're using their thinking against us voices for us. And right now, the point, we don't even trust our police.
No.
They even say that they can even, because Michael Thompson's still around, he's still in the courts acting like the voice note never happened, allegedly. And so at the end of the day, it's scary.
And to your point also, Hanshul, just to remind the public, Mr. Monroe was on record saying that the police cannot investigate themselves. They need to be investigated. He said this before he came into power.
Exactly.
Now he comes into power, and he said he have full confidence.
They gotta go, man. They really gotta go, man. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get back to work.
Man. Go ahead, brother. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Blessings. Have a good weekend.
Blessings.
Bahamians, it is very important. Like I keep saying all the time, listen to what your leaders are saying. Watch what they do. We have too many misleading statements coming from the cabinet, coming from representatives of the parliament. Bahamians, we can't keep operating like this.
No.
And the information is not constitutionally sound. That's the problem. I have a serious problem with that. So we have to correct that in Bahamians. There is something you can do about it. I can talk about that on Monday, when it's Constitution Day. The point is, we need to stop this foolishness from going on. You and I have a role to play, from the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and we could get all of these things corrected. Brother Hyla, make your last point.
My last point is I can't stop thinking about Adriel. Did not get to meet her in person. I am a youth worker. Anatole Rogers is not one of the schools that I was involved with, but other schools, mostly the high schools. Are we going to wait until this happens again?
I hope not.
A cloth was found around Adriel's neck.
Yeah, they said that.
But we don't want to put nothing around the neck of the criminal.
That's something.
Isn't that ironic?
Yes, very ironic, yeah.
Adriel, once again, her name means God's flock. She found her way into the flock of God. The entire body of Christ, the country is under attack. But we have leadership that is soft on crime.
Right. Brother Cartwright. Go ahead.
Well,
quickly.
Professor, the only thing I would like to add is that it's high time now our parliament put aside their colors and seriously involve the church, involve the communities to resolve these matters and let us move forward.
Yes. Okay. This has been Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network 99.5 FM. We thank all those callers that called in and the expressions that you made. Bahamians, there's much more work to be done. Of course, Monday I'll be in the chair by myself, and I'll have my say back then. So So have a safe weekend. This is Professor Sidney MacArthur Walter Thompson on the Global Radio Network, 99.5 FM. Have a pleasant afternoon. Will be coming on after the show. I apologize to the people of the Bahamas. I forgot to say that in. Save the Babes will be coming on right after the show at 4 o'clock. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant weekend.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Global Communications Network and the operators of this radio station.
This is